to not ever question that, I think that that's weird. Personally, I feel like you should question if the person you're dating is the right one, if this person is a safe person, if this person is healthy for you, if this person is somebody that you can spend the rest of your life with. What's up, you guys? Welcome to our kitchen. Every time I do these videos, I always imagine that like somebody's sitting across from me and you've pulled up a chair and we're just chatting and we're having a drink and it's all good fun. But today we're going to talk about something I feel uniquely qualified to talk about because I have been through the trenches. I have been through so many different types of relationships in my life. I have dated men, I've dated women, I have been in open polyamorous relationships, I've been in very, very toxic relationships, I have been cheated on, I have been unfaithful myself. So unfortunately, there's a lot that I have learned over the years and a lot of mistakes that I've made when it comes to dating, and it's all been looking for the one. Now, I have found my one. I have found my dude, my bra guy, okay? It is a breath of fresh air. I feel so peaceful. I feel content. I feel like I could do anything in the world. You guys, this is the power of a supportive, healthy relationship. And I want you to get there. Whether you are in the trenches and you're single and you're in the dating life, or you're actually dating and committed to somebody and you're wondering if it's time to take it a step further, put a dang ring on it. If you just want that confirmation, you just want to clear away any doubts, that's what we're talking about today. There are people that will tell you, if you are even wondering, if you have to guess, if you have to question if they're the right one, that they're not. And I will tell you from my perspective, my experience, that wasn't true. I have always, in every single relationship that I've been in, wondered if they were the right person for me. And the difference between all of the other people that I've been in relationships with versus Brian is once I really truly got to know them, I peeled back the layers. Ogres are like onions. And I got to know the true person that they are, because everybody has this ideal version of themselves and what they like to tell people who they are. But oftentimes that's different than their reality, right? Like who they show up as every single day is probably not this most glamorized version that they are communicating. When you do actually get to know somebody and you figure out who they truly are and you give it time and you go through trials together, you do figure out if that person is right for you or not. But to not ever question that, I think that that's weird. Personally, I feel like you should question if the person you're dating is the right one to an extent, right? I can tell you with 5,000% certainty at this point that I know Brian is my dude and we are in this forever, baby. Like we are locked and loaded. But of course, when we were dating and just kind of getting to know each other, of course I questioned that. I have noticed that my experience with Brian and my experience with everybody else had some really core differentiators. And that's what we're going to explore today. Some of these like thought-provoking questions that you can ask yourself to determine if this person is a safe person, if this person is healthy for you, if this person is somebody that you can spend the rest of your life with. Number one, safety. And I'm not just talking about physical safety. Although for me, because I am smaller and Brian's this big dude, there was absolutely a level of physical safety that I've never felt before where I'm like, this dude could like wreck somebody if they try to mess with me, you know? Now me on the other hand, I would sure try to protect Brian physically, but where his sense of safety with me comes from is emotional safety. And that is knowing that the reaction that comes from your partner is one that protects your emotional being, okay? So if you have fights, which we all do, are you going to be unsafe in that conversation? Meaning vulnerabilities that you have are used against you, you're being called names, people are raising their voices, yelling in a way that makes you feel unsafe. All of those things are are going to cause anybody to feel emotional dysregulation, and your nervous system is going to be off the hook, and not in a good way. For the most part, if your person is reasonable, level-headed, and you feel safe with them emotionally and or physically, and your body relaxes, if your nervous system relaxes around them, that is the best sign. The second thing that we're looking for is somebody that's gonna want to see you grow. And I myself have experienced relationships where that person supported me in a way that I could have been 300 pounds and lived in my mom's basement and never left the house, and they would be like, "You're doing great, babe." Like, you know, there are people that love you into complacency. And what I've experienced with Brian is he loves me so much that he puts my growth over me being comfortable and me being lazy, and he holds me accountable. Because there's so many times where life gets hard, and you know, if you struggle with depression and anxiety, like, it can be very self-isolating, and you kind of dig yourself into a hole. But having a partner that's going to be there to dig you out, to hold you accountable, to remind you of the things that you really want and push for your growth is such a valuable asset. I can't even tell you. There are a lot of people out there that see their partner as competition. They secretly don't want you to do that well because they wanted to do better. Ryan always has told me, "I hope you out-earn me, and I hope you make so much more money than me, and I hope you can retire me, and I hope you can buy me a Ferrari one day." But I have also had a relationship where it was the complete opposite. They don't want somebody that outperforms them because it makes them feel inferior. And there's kind of some insecurity there with them. So if you are with somebody that sees you as competition, I would say that needs to be talked about and really looked at. A really fantastic question that you can ask yourself is, do I feel more myself, more empowered, and more capable from dating this person? I will tell you right now, Brian and I do not align on every single core value, like having kids. Brian is divorced. He had a child in his previous relationship who is awesome, but I have never had kids myself. But Brian's son's 14. He has kind of been there, done that, got that t-shirt, okay? Like, he has done a level of life that I just haven't experienced. And that's something that I had always wanted, and people can change their mind, and people can kind of weigh their options and make the best decision for them. For me, the core values conversation comes down to our core values that should be present in every single relationship. For me, that's honesty. For me, that's safety. But other things that are on your grocery list of things you wanted in a relationship, there are items that you will need to compromise on. And if you can come together as a couple and truly compromise on those things in a way that makes you feel like nobody's getting the short end of the stick, and this is something that you choose full-heartedly, and this is something that you can accept for your life moving forward, I think that that is completely fine. And not only is it fine, it will often have to happen in one way or another. Brian's loyalty to me makes me want to be so loyal to him. And him showing up for me makes me want to show up so hard for him. Like, if you have somebody that you know is in your corner, it makes it so easy to be a good partner, because you just, like, you want to be that person for them and you want to reciprocate it. And again, this goes back to, is that person making you the best version of yourself? And you trust this person full-heartedly. If somebody were to come up to you and say, "Sorry to break it to you, but your partner is cheating on you," just imagine that for a second in your mind. If you can say back to that person, "I don't believe you, like, my person would never," that is the biggest green flag. But if you in your mind are like, "Dang, like, I knew it. It doesn't even matter if it's true or not, you guys. If you feel like your person has the capability and could cheat on you. One thing that's very clear to me is that the right person will make their feelings for you completely clear. You will have no question on if they care about you, love you, want to be with you forever. You will be very, very convinced of that based on their actions and based on their communication, right? Because it takes two. It's not just what they're saying or what they're doing, it's both together, the communication and the action. And if both of those are present and you know for a fact that they love you and they got your back, that's it, baby. One thing I've done in the past is lie to make my partner look better to other people. And now this is a distinction because I am a firm believer, I've talked about it before on the channel, that you should not be sharing your issues, your fights with other people. It just opens up a can of worms for other people to really not support your relationship. So especially like family members, your parents, your mom, like don't be sharing all of the issues that you and your partner go through. But the difference is your partner's behavior. If you are trying to lie to cover that up, or you're trying to lie and like make them seem like a better person than they are, I wish I could just shake myself like, hello, doesn't that that's a red flag, babe. That's a red flag. I see this a lot in other people's relationships, but there's this honeymoon phase where you're like, this person is the best person I've ever met. They do this and this and this, and I'm so stoked about them. And then time goes on and you start to be comfortable with that person and you start to kind of forget all of those amazing things that you loved about them, even though they haven't gone away. You just kind of get used to them and take it for granted. That's why a lot of people, when they're like, oh, are you the one? They forget all of these things that they absolutely love and value and respect about this person, because they're looking at the negative. I did a short about this, trade your expectations for appreciation. And that's especially applicable in relationships because if you're looking for the bad things, you will find the bad things. But if you are also looking for things that you can appreciate and ways that your partner is trying to show up for you and support you and is killing it in life and like they're going above and beyond, you can also find those things. So for me, it's just always remembering all of those amazing qualities and traits that Brian has, because truly, I cannot communicate to you how incredible he is. I will never be able to articulate it fully. I know that that's very rare, but the right person, you will just want to like shout from the rooftops of how incredible they are. And it's a good sign, y'all. Here's the last one. And this one's a little silly, but I really think it's so important. Do you like hanging out with that person? Are you friends? Truly, like when something happens, are you like, oh my gosh, I gotta go tell, like I'm gonna text my partner right now, you know? Are they your person where you're like, you're my go-to person when something good happens or something bad happens? You're the first person I want to tell. And at the end of the day, when you're done working, who do you want to come home and spend time with? If you're like, oh, like I'm coming home, but maybe I just mow the lawn for an hour. Like if you're trying to escape hanging out with your partner, that's a sign. That's it for today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I do want to hear from you though. What do you think is the number one sign that someone is the one? And your comment will probably help somebody else. I know for me, a lot of times when I'm watching a video, I'm just like scrolling to the comments because they are golden. So let me know what you think that is. And let me know if you have any other questions. Happy to help. And I'll see you guys next time.